get him out of here. But same cat, new town. Carl Anthony Towns. Well, based upon what people saying about him in Philly media, he can't do nothing right. Knicks receive Carl Anthony Towns. The Timberwolves get Julius Randle and the Dante DiVincenzo and Detroit. Carl, how you end up in this pick?
I
How you
said
end up
Pistons
in
ties in the jet.
look, how you end up in this? And they get Detroit first round pick. So the question is, and it kind of started backstage on like Friday. When was it Friday? I think it was Friday or Saturday when we had our meeting. It was like, who won this trade? The Timberwolves or the Knicks? And I'm gonna start with you, Carl. Who you think won this trade?
I'm not all right. So look, I seen this question around 12 o'clock. It is currently 7:57 p.m. and I'm still battling with myself to see who won this trade. But for the sake of the show, I'm going to say the Timberwolves. I'm going to say the Timberwolves. One, Cat in New York. I don't know if he's gonna last. Man, New York is grimy. New York is grimy. I know a lot of the criticism, including mine, about Cat is he can be soft. Does he have games where he don't show it? Yes, but for the majority, I have been saying, and Joe killed me for it, by the way. I have been saying Cat has been playing soft. The Timberwolves, on the other hand, they kind of. Well, I feel like Julius Randle kind of unclogs the paint. He brings a toughness to the Timberwolves, both offensively and defensively. Gobert, I think he's more able to do his thing with Randle there, with Randle being a true four. And they get a 3-and-D guy in Dante DiVincenzo, which is always good for a team. Dante DiVincenzo played really well in the postseason this past year. I think that helps them a lot. It makes the offense not so dependent on Anthony Edwards. You have a guy that you know that can make a shot, play defense, and he's going to play a ton of minutes in Dante DiVincenzo. I'm going to go with the Timberwolves, but it was a tough decision for me on this trade to see who won it, especially because if Cat can get his stuff together, it's not going to be a lot of the offense. A lot of the offense, is not going to be dependent upon Cat with Jalen Brunson there. And it clearly shows that it's now Jalen Brunson's team, which I've said that last year anyway. I said if Randle's going to have to come back, he's going to have to realize this is Brunson's team. Well, now he don't have to realize anything. He's going to Minnesota. But I'm going to go with Minnesota in this one. I just think it opens up so much more, and it's probably going to allow Ant to show more of a playmaking side of him.
Mark?
Well, I was thinking the same thing you was thinking, Carl, but then I thought about it. Like, I think the Knicks won this trade. The reason being because the Knicks got the guys that they want, probably for the first time in a long time, that the Knicks actually got the guy that they went for. They ain't go to another team or anything like that. They went to the Knicks. So with that, you got Karl Anthony Towns in New York. Yeah, he is soft sometimes, but I think New York going to toughen him up. Like, even just going outside or just playing outside at Dykeman or something like that, just, during the season, before the season or something like that. I think they're going to toughen him up. And tough Karl Anthony Towns is probably going to be one of the best big men in the league. If he's not one of the best big men in the league right now, he's going to get better. So, the Knicks got something going with Brunson. Brunson is one of the best playmakers, one of the best players in the league too. So, you pairing him, that three, that pick and pop going to be something crazy with Karl Anthony Towns and him off the screen. So I think the Knicks won that trade. I do like Minnesota though. They do got DiVincenzo on a 3-year, $11 million deal. So, they still got him for 3 more years. But Julius Randle was uncertain, even though he did qualify for like the max, the super max. Not the super max, but the max for the past 6 years. I don't know if he's going to re-sign with Minnesota. And that's the thing about it. They had to give him his contract with DiVincenzo contract. That's why they had to throw him in there because the Cat was making 42, I think, this year. Yeah, he's making $42 million. So, I think the Knicks won this trade like basketball-wise, but like money-wise, Timberwolves probably did win this trade. But, basketball-wise, I think the Knicks going to do something in the East.
So I seen this trade come through, and I was like, first of all, it was a rumor. Then it was confirmed, and I said, wait. Cat going to whoa, what's going on here? They all just gonna kick me out.
So like I'm about to have to run R12.
Oh, I'm gonna just kick me out. I was like, I know I'm still talking. What's going on here? But I seen it go through, and it was just like what just happened here. I'm like, what's going on here? Like they just gonna how Cat end up with the Knicks and Julius Randle, and I was like, oh, so Julius Randle, they were worried about the chemistry. This was one of the things that they were concerned about him coming back because remember they had the Villanova 4. And they like, well, if Villanova 4 can get us to the playoffs, well, the Villanova 3 did it at first, and then they went and got Miles Bridges, and then you just seen what that was. Mikal. Yeah, Mikal.
Miles is this, my brother.
That's probably why I said it. That's what I was saying. So then I looked at it and said, who won this trade? And I was like, I think both teams won. And then Tyler, who was the Broncos fan that came on here, we was talking about it. He was like, you sure? And I like talked it out, and I was like, I think both teams won this trade because if you look at what New York got back, they got rid of the chemistry issue that they don't have to worry about technically as far as like whose team is it? Like that's gone because y'all had a whole debate about Julius Randle versus Jimmy Butler. Now you got that out the way, so you don't got to worry about that because now everybody knows that this is Brunson's team and everything flows through him. And this is a new change of scenery for Cat. So now it's like you really got to prove yourself. So all that stuff you was doing in Minnesota, the 3 million 3-pointers that you say you shoot on a daily basis, like all that, you could do all that outside, but now it's a new change of scenery. You got to prove yourself here. And with that coaching staff, you already know what he's going to do. He's going to make you run. So if you come in there acting soft, at some point, you're going to have to toughen up. Maybe you want to call it Joakim Noah. And with the Timberwolves, again, you got another player who's ready to prove himself. He's like, oh, they just going to give up on me like that? Julius Randle. Then you got DiVincenzo, who is a solid role player right there. You got somebody now you're teaming up with Ant, who's going to be the face of the league. Well, everyone's propelling him as the face of the league at this point because we all know what happened with Ja. And then you don't have to worry about the Rudy Gobert and Cat experiment no more. Like we've seen that did work, but now it's like, all right, everybody has a solid role on this team, so let's move forward. So I think both teams won. I mean, if you want to edge it out, I'll give it to the Timberwolves because they got Detroit picked. And sorry, neighbor, but we both know we're going to be bad this year. So
hold on. Don't throw me in that.
Oh, so now we're not neighbors. We're going to do
we neighbors, but the second part.
That you're going to be bad?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be bad this year, bro.
All right, well, that's good to know. But that's the one that will give you a little bit of the slight to the Timberwolves saying that they won it because of the draft pick. Now, I don't know what's going on with the New York Wi-Fi, but Joe, is you ready?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But who I think won the trade? I'm going with New York. Everybody keeps saying Cat's off. Okay. Do they get to the Western Conference Finals and without Cat? No. Do they beat Denver without Cat? No.
Possibly.
So now the spark. Nah, I don't know. Because Cat had 2 games when he went crazy. One game in the fourth he went crazy, and people underestimate Cat as a mismatch, and Cat also helps protect the rim with Rudy Gobert, so he's another big body. Now you get rid of Cat. Now the spark that Nas Reed used to give off the bench, now he's a starter. So
he don't have to start.
Julius Randle. Okay, you put Julius Randle there. Everybody's my Cat. What has Julius Randle done in the playoffs? No.
Oh, look, that's not my fight.
Come on, man. The man.
That's not my fight.
He's known for folding in the playoffs.
But that's as a number one, though. He's clearly not going to be a number one in Minnesota.
He was a number one with Brunson, and he still didn't play well. Not this year, last year against Cleveland, he did not play well, and he didn't. And I think he got hurt after that. Or against Miami, he didn't play well. So you look at New York. From the team they got, he fits. He really does. He fits. New York was so heavily relying on Jalen Brunson scoring the ball. Now you bring Cat to the mix. You're not relying heavy on Jalen Brunson no more. Cat is not the number one option. He's number 2 option. Once again, he could play the same daggone role he played with the Timberwolves. But when you look at the Timberwolves, now it's more pressure on Anthony Edwards to score, in my opinion. I think it's more pressure on him, which I think he wants that pressure also. So I do think the trade, it was good for both teams. Not saying like one loss. I don't think Minnesota gonna fall off completely, but I think they're gonna be times they're gonna miss Cat. They're gonna miss Cat. Like people underestimate Cat value on that team because they keep saying he's soft. Like he was an asset. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Cat was a big asset to them. He was a mismatch and everything. So I think that was a great trade for New York. Cause they go all in. We had a conversation about Jalen Brunson taking a lower contract. And look, because he took a lower contract, they were able to afford Karl Anthony Towns' contract to go all
Jerry,
in.
that's how you do it.
No. They were going to be able to get Cat regardless. They just didn't want to pay the luxury. But I feel you.
Yeah, but then you gotta look. Cat just came from the West, which was loaded, and went to the East, which isn't as loaded as the West is.
Thank you, Lord.
So I mean, Cat probably got an easy chance to get there. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Knicks won this trade. You know, so yeah.
And Randall he's nicked up a lot in the playoffs too. Also, like he always get an injury. You know, so I'm a little iffy by Randall. Randall is not better than Cat. You know, Cat is a better player than Randall. Randall fits the model of Timberwolves. He do go hard. I give him that. He's a tough dude. But look at their team, bro. I know they lost DiVincenzo too. And I think DiVincenzo is a big piece for them in that trade.
That's what I talked about.
You know, they got OG, Kel. They got all defenders now. You know what I mean? And
Josh Hart.
Nice mob.
Nice. Got to shout out Josh Hart. But Joe, like my premise wasn't they got the best player because, like you said, it's Cat the best player. My premise was the toughness and everything that he brings to the Timberwolves. Like I agree that obviously the Knicks got the best player in the trade. 100% agree. My premise was, like I said, one, the toughness that they get with Randall, and two, the 3-and-D they get with Dante DiVincenzo, because a lot of their issues was shooting outside of what Jaden McDaniels at times and Edwards and Cat. Yep. Nas Reed was able to do his thing a little bit, but I don't think Nas Reed was, if I'm remembering correctly, he wasn't as effective in the Mavs series as he was in the Nuggets series. If I remember correctly,
you're right.
Yeah, he wasn't as effective, but with Randall, he can. I understand. You know, I was on the Julius Randle, Jimmy Butler debate about Julius Randle in the playoffs, but a lot of that pressure won't be there in Minnesota. Like you said, it's going to be a lot more pressure on Ant, but he is a guy where you can get the ball down low and let him do his thing in the post, put pressure on the defenses as a legitimate four. And I really like the matchmaking with Randall over Cat. Cat and Rudy Gobert are two true fives. Now you got a true four. It just feels a little bit better, in my opinion, with Randall there as opposed to Cat. And then you could have also had the butting of heads because Cat was the guy originally. Now Ant-Man's the guy. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes with that. But I do like the trade for both teams. That's why I say from 12 when I seen the question to like still right now, I battle who won the trade because it's a good trade. But for the purpose of the show, I think Minnesota won it.
Yeah. This is one of them trades like you making fantasy and you like, man, this was actually a good trade. Like you flat out. Like that's why I said I think both teams won it, and I could see how what the vision was with both GMs when they said, okay, we can make this deal happen. Because again, it all goes back to who's the face of the franchise. It went from Cat to Ant. It went from Julius supposedly to Jalen Brunson coming in and taking over, and it's like, do we still want to have this? All right, let's give both of these guys a change of scenery and see what we can do now because they both need to go to the next level.
Yeah, like I said,
it's just that Pistons pick. Yeah, that Pistons pick is what did it.
I knew everybody would run into that Cat and solve narrative. Like he's gonna be a liability for the Knicks. He gonna help a lot.
I don't think he will be. I think he can be.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
All right, let's get to the last words, man. Let's get up out of here.
Yeah, he put left out loud for a reason.
He's true.
All right, last words, man. First of all,